going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another edition of Dangle Bet Celly here live on our FTN YouTube page. Chris Meaney and Eric Young here with you guys at the Eric Young, at Chris Meaney on the X Machine. We appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us here today. 9 games on the ice in the NHL. Going to roll through each of these games and share our favorite picks and some props and some goal scorers there. Talk a little fantasy hockey with you guys. Anybody looking for prize picks and underdog plays. We'll roll through some of those plays, but some of these, picks that we discuss are available on both of those sites that you could use as well. A reminder, the article will be free over at ftnfantasy.com. The 2 articles have been essentially perfect, and I've been completely opposite, EY, when I don't write articles. Tuesday was 3 for 3. Thursday was 4 for 4. We included 13 picks altogether with bonus picks, 12 for 13. I don't even think I've gotten anything right since. So I'll be straight up and honest with people. It's been a struggle. We did get a couple right last night in the Islanders game. The Avs look atrocious at the moment. But yeah, it's been kind of up and down, but we've had good Tuesdays and Thursdays. So maybe, Eric, you're just my lucky charm here.
Yeah, sometimes you got to suffer for your art, buddy. This is the way it goes. As long as you're right on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we were talking a bit before we jumped on here, like a couple of our most watched shows in Dangle Bet Celly history, which is awesome. So let the people at FTN know that you're watching and you're enjoying the show because, look, it's hockey and we're the redheaded stepchild, and our love will never be taken as seriously. Basketball love, for whatever reason, baseball love, but here we all are having a good time, loving the sport that we love, and doing wells on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I mean, it's weird for me because I'm consuming as much as I can, listening to podcasts, watching some highlights and stuff but I don't have great internet all the time because I'm in the United Kingdom. I'm on trains and buses and planes and to Paris. Nobody speaks English and everyone loves bread and wine, and I haven't watched as much hockey as I normally do. Like I feel weird, right? I know there's all this hockey going on, but I don't require a lot of sleep. I do stay up late, but 3 a.m. puck drop, guys, is tough, especially when I got to work out and carry my groceries by hand and do all the other stuff, all the crazy traveling. All I'm saying is I'm doing what I can. We're having a good Tuesday. We're having good Thursdays, which is all that matters for the people that watch this show and consume this show. But I'm ready to get home, back to the United States, back to being able to watch 5 or 6 games every night and then annoying my wife.
Hey, you've done your part, and you're sending me pictures and watching on your iPad at crazy hours in the morning. So doing what you can is the true psycho that you are. Yeah, we do appreciate everybody here hanging out. I'm always going to hold myself accountable. It's not going to be like patting ourselves on the back. We will, of course, when we get things right, but we'll hold ourselves accountable here. And it's been a little bit of a struggle, and I'll be honest with you guys, but pretty confident that we'll be able to turn this thing around. If you're looking to be part of the family, FTN show will save yourself a little bit of a discount. We also have promo code PUCK, which will save yourself a little bit of cash. We'll have free articles on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Stick to those articles. They've been pretty good over the past couple of years. So we will certainly turn this thing around. But if you like this show, Eric's not wrong. Subscribe to our FTN YouTube page, smash the like button, tell a friend, because I'll be honest with you guys, like, hockey is not high up on the rankings over at FTN Fantasy, and this show could be taken away at any moment. We just want to keep it here for you guys. As you're well aware, it's not a podcast anymore. It's just a show on our YouTube page. So if you do like the show and you want to continue to have it and hang out with us, do us a solid and like the video, subscribe to our YouTube page, and if you have any questions at all, you can comment there. I'll be circling back on these videos to help you. If you're looking for fantasy hockey rankings, they're updated every week over at ftnfantasy.com. We have a waiver wire article up already. It'll be there every single Sunday, diving into the week to come with some 4-game streams, some ads, some drops, some deep league stuff, buy lows, sell highs. But be patient, after the first couple of weeks. You don't want me cutting guys. I saw on Monday the most drop players were like Claude Giroux. I forget now off the top of my head, but like Claude Giroux is one of them. And then the very next day, the Senators scored like 8 goals. So You just got to be pretty patient with some of your drops. Dylan Guenther's the guy that you wanted to pick up. You didn't read the fantasy hockey draft guide because he was the cover boy for the breakouts, but you pick him up. You pick up some of these players that maybe are off the hot starts that you didn't draft in your leagues. But anyways, here we go. I want to say what up to the crew. Adam Szymanski in the house. What's going on, brother? Won't be a dry eye tonight in Columbus. That's right. It should be an emotional night in Columbus. Their home opener tonight with Johnny Hockey. We have Prince in the house. Dangle Bet. Let's go. Maniac Parlay. Madman mode tonight. Shot Prop King. We love it. Zane is in the house. Morning, fellas. Montour, 3 shots and goal plus money since game 1. It's actually something we've had correct at FTN Fantasy. I think we had him in both articles on Tuesday and Thursday. Big season. He was ranked aggressively over at ftnfantasy.com. I think he's got top 10 upside at the defense position. He's led the team in ice time in each of the first couple of games, and he looks a lot like he did 2 years ago with the Florida Panthers. They're allowing him to skate freely, move up and down the ice, and he loves to shoot the puck. So, yeah, another plus money, 3 shots for him. I think he was plus 145 in his first game, which we hit, and I think he was plus 135 in the other game. So, yeah, we do like him up. He's picked up Guenther, thanks to what a steal. I mean, enjoy. I don't think he's going to score 50 goals, but my goodness, he's off to a good start. Emmerich in the house, let's go. And then we have Hall in the house. It's glad to see you guys back. Been a while. Welcome back. Love the Ben Stiller there. Picture that from Happy Gilmore, which, by the way, they're already shooting the second movie, which is cool. All right, let's get into tonight. We have 9 games on the ice. Let's bring up the schedule. All the odds and everything can be found over at ftnfantasy.com. The parlay calculator, prop shop, 2 tools that are free. Should be able to see the link inside the description of this video to get the best possible numbers. So shout out to my guy Fox, but he did show spreads here. So I will show money line stuff. I'll list that off. We started Tampa. Let's start in Tampa Bay. We have the Lightning at home minus 132 on the money line. Best number I'm seeing is at Bet Rivers. The Canucks checking in at plus 115 over at Bet 365. It's been an interesting start for the Vancouver Canucks. Of course, they're going to have to weather the storm without Thatcher Demko on the squad. We've seen both goalies in the first 2 games, and they've just been okay. Right, for the Canucks. They head into Tampa Bay after opening up the season at home, a 6-5 loss, which they blew, and they were up in that game, and then a 3-2 loss to the Philadelphia Flyers, which I think they were up in that game as well. I like Tampa here in this situation, at home, on home ice. Anything you like, because there's not really a whole lot that's jumping off the page for me in this matchup between the Lightning and the Canucks. I think that there is some value in the betting market when it comes to Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk has been playing on that first power play, but I also saw a few mistakes from him on that power play, a couple bad passes, unable to keep the puck in the zone. So I think he'll continue to be on the power play, but it hasn't been the best start for him, albeit he does have a point, and he did come on the power play, and he has 6 shots in his 2 games. But that is probably the most valuable player in the betting market on the Vancouver Canucks side. Where are you at in this game?
Yeah, I got DeBrusk down to score, and I mean mostly because he's playing important minutes. I like him as a player. I think there's an adjustment to obviously to Tocchet's system after playing in Boston his whole career. And I got Brock Besser. That's the guy. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times in Vancouver. They want the puck coming off of his stick. If they can organize it, and that's what they're trying to do, they'll organize it for him to shoot it. And, I always want that guy who's playing on power play 1, who's the known shooter, and the guy that they're trying to get the puck to shoot it at the net. So on the Tampa side, I'm going to go Gensel and Kucherov. I mean, obviously the odds are probably not great for either of them, but I think if anyone scores tonight for them, it's them. I mean, obviously with the goaltending, it's that old saying, it's been around forever. If you had a good goaltender, it's 70% of your win. And if you have a bad goaltender, it's 100% of the loss. So, the reality is no team is immune to this. If you're playing your backup or your third string guy, you're going to struggle no matter how good the team is. I feel I think this is his name, Kyle Woodall, I think is a goalie guy. He was on Dmitry Filipovic's show the other day saying just the shooters are just ahead right now, and the goalies will adjust and whatever, but they've got to adjust. And right now, shooters are just at a higher level than the goaltending is, and goaltenders are you know, we're seeing like last season, like the average goal percentage, like a 905 was pretty good last year. You know, that means the goaltender was pretty good. The year before that, if you weren't a 920 or above, you weren't very good. So that's a thing that's sliding. I mean, that's no solace to the Vancouver Canucks because it doesn't matter. It only matters about wins and losses in the end. And when they're playing with backups that aren't great, they're going to struggle to win games. So yeah, I think I like Tampa here, but those are the guys I have to score.
Yeah, I think they make for a good stack in DFS as well. I mean, it's an expensive stack, but just given what you said on the goaltending, the slow start for Vancouver, I thought they've been a little sloppy. And then, you know, the first game from the Bolts was fantastic, right? Everybody was hitting the score sheet. Nikita Kucherov had the hat trick and he had the 4 points. Jake Kensel's debut there, he had 2 assists. Braden Point scored. He only had 1 shot, but he scored a goal. And then Victor Hedman, if anybody was, you know, listening to my previews, my sleepers, my breakout stuff, bounce back stuff in the kit, like Hedman, and I said this, like Sergachev and Hedman, just Sergachev going away, you know, makes him a top 10 defenseman in Utah.
Yep.
And Hedman, you know, he's back to being, I think, in that top tier and maybe just outside of it with Yossi and Makar, but like upside to be a top 5 defenseman. In his first game, he picked up 3 assists, and the power play is going to be lethal again, just like it was last year. So there is certainly some value on the Tampa side here. Victor Hedman, I didn't think that there was going to be much I thought there was going to be a little bit of a better number on the power play. It's plus 145. It's not great. One thing I will say is Kucherov is minus 135 for 2 points. So Vegas is thinking there's a pretty decent chance that Kucherov is going to get 2 points. If Kucherov gets 2 points, there's a decent chance that Braden Point or Jake Gensel get 2 points as well. So yeah. Jake Gensel is plus 180 for 2 points. Braden Point is plus 165 for 2 points. So those are some pretty decent long shots. Maybe you want to do half a unit on one of those. I would say Gensel over Point because he's more of a shooter. But I think, you know, again, if Kucherov gets 3 or 4 points tonight, Gensel or Point maybe in on that as well. I looked at Jake DeBrusk, by the way. He's minus 115 for a point. He's plus 140 for 3 shots. Longer shot, not one of my favorite bets there. Hedman 40-1 for Norris is a good bet. Szymanski, right? I mean, you're on the ball here. I mean, the usage is going to be high. He's going to get all of the power play time because there was time last year and the year before where Sergachev was running the point on that first power play. So could be a nice bounce back performance there from him. Ben Stiller. My name is Hall. Hello, you killing me, man. Meaney, your sides and upsets have been on the money. Yeah, I actually think they have. Not so much in the tracker, but I think we called the Blues as an upset. I think we were also on the Habs against the Leafs. So we've hit a couple, and I've been telling the people that the Avs are in a tough spot. Eric, I know you haven't seen a lot of hockey yet, but Colorado is absolutely hurting. They're 0-3. They have a negative 10 goal differential. And I looked at their lineup last night on Daily Faceoff, and I mean, before the game started, I looked at it, and I'm like, man, this may be one of the most pathetic rosters I've seen, and it's obviously top heavy with McKinnon and Rantanen, but they have nothing at the moment, and I understand that they're hurting. They have no Lehkonen, they have no Nichushkin, they have no Landeskog, they have no Duran, but they also have no depth, and they have a goaltending issue. Georgiev is not playing good, and I'm shocked that he got the other start. So, you know, the Oilers are off to a slow start. That's a team I think will turn it around. The Avs, as long as this is the roster they're rolling out every night before they get dudes back, continue to fade them because they've been massive favorites in each of their 3 games. I guess they weren't so much against Vegas, but they haven't been solid. A little bit of a rant there, but yeah, we've been calling some dogs, and I think that you continue to pick on the Avs. Let's move along. Let's get to Carolina and New Jersey. We saw New Jersey give Utah a loss last night. And Jake Allen picked up the shutout. So we should see Markstrom tonight between the pipes, and this would be Carolina's second game. They lost to Tampa in the first one. The odds on the money line, if you want to back the Hurricanes, they're minus 144. Best number I'm seeing over at FanDuel, and New Jersey's checking in at plus 125. Best number I'm seeing is over at Bet365, and the over-under is at 6.5. It's juiced to the under, minus 132 in the total. Over 6.5 is plus 108. That number over at Bet365 as well. Okay, what do you got from this game, Devils and Hurricanes?
Yeah, I'm going back to Hughes and Heischer. I mean, Hughes hasn't been great, but I mean, he's going to get it going. He's still like ultra talented on the offensive side of the puck. Carolina, watched a little bit of their game from the other week. Man, Seth Jarvis really jumped off the page to me. I remember reading something, I think it was on The Athletic, him talking about, I guess he was crazy into junk food. And this summer, like, started like taking his training real serious, stopped eating junk food, candy. I guess it wouldn't be weird for him to eat a whole bag of like gummy worms in a day, which is a wild thing.
My kind of guy.
Yeah, a wild thing to do as a professional athlete. But man, he's really jumped off the screen to me. So I got Jarvis and Netchess to score there.
Nice, I like it. Did not know that about Seth Jarvis. Big candy guy. He's up in my books. Andrei Svechnikov had 5 shots in the opener. He's minus 143 for 3 shots. It's not a great number, but that would be the way that I would lean. I actually don't like a whole lot from this game. I'm not going to force it. I did have Jack Hughes yesterday for 4 shots and for 2 points, and he finished with 3 shots and 1 point. So it felt like he was kind of right there. It has been a slow start for him. What does he only have 3 assists, and he hasn't been shooting as much, but the top line has looked okay. Right, we mentioned Timo Meier. If there's a goal scorer for me in this game, it would be Timo. He's the shooter. He's been off to a really good start. Timo Meier and then Svechnikov on the other side. I get the lean to the Hurricanes, but I'm not going to bet it myself. I'm not completely sold in this team, but it's a tough spot for the Devils, having played last night or yesterday, early afternoon, and then now going to Carolina. And they've only had 1 game, so they've had some time here. Devils are playing their 6th game already.
Right, wild.
I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, they have played 5 games. They're 4-1. Off to
they had the first 2 overseas, right? So that like puts them up ahead of everybody right away.
Yeah. Same. We're on the same page here. Anaheim Ducks, Mateo in the house. Yeah, we may have had the Ducks. Quack, 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 Mr. Ducksworth against the Sharkies, SJ Sharky. Let's continue here. Let's go to Columbus. Troy's not in the house. I know this will be an emotional game for him as well, as we talked about with Florida and with Columbus. They've hung around in their first couple of games. We did get the first goal scorer on this show when we talked about the Wild against Columbus. We had Matt Boldy. Remember, we took a couple shots on Boldy, and we had Eriksson Ek. And this is something I'm probably going to do in a lot of spots with the Columbus Blue Jackets. Take some first goal scorers for opposing teams, but not tonight. The narrative, I don't want to call it a narrative. It's going to be an emotional night at home. But also, I think Florida, despite the win yesterday, I think that they could be in trouble just for the next. We'll see. Is Matthew Tkachuk going to return tonight? Is he going to play? We know Barkov's out for the next couple of weeks. Not going to see Bobrovsky between the pipes. So I think this may be a time to actually jump on the Hurricanes as a dog tonight, maybe on the money line. You're going to sweat this one out. I do think that they're going to be the worst team in hockey this year. They're up against the defending champs. They probably should have a better number than plus 140. But I think the books know that, with Florida on the back-to-back and dealing with a few things, that Columbus may hang in this game. So you can get them at plus 140 over at BetMGM. If you wanted to do reverse puck line for them not to lose by 2 goals, it's a little bit too juiced at minus 180. Where are you at with Columbus and with Florida?
Yeah, I think Columbus wins this. And I mean, just for the simple fact is that, Florida back-to-back, backup goaltender, Barkov missing, Tkachuk, we don't know. And if he plays, he's sick, I think, is the thing. He's got an illness, so he probably won't be 100%. I mean, Florida's still a great team. Obviously, they look like the champs, right, so far this year. But I think Columbus wins this one tonight. I got Chinnikov and Kent Johnson on the Columbus side. Last week, I picked Johnson. He came through. He looked great, which is a good news for Columbus. it's just the whole thing is sad, like real world sad with Johnny and his brother passing away. But it's just with Columbus, like, man, they just can't buy a break. This is the most important player on the team, and they're not going to get any games. That's no one is thinking about that, right? That him not playing for them is not important. What's important is a young man in the prime of his life was killed, and it sucks. Him and his brother both, and they did nothing wrong, and it's just an unfortunate truth. But you got to feel for Columbus and its fans and the management there of they just can't seem to buy a break. So thoughts will be with the Gaudreau family tonight. It was cool. I saw that Torts had his dad out at Phillies camp or whatever playing, and super cool thing. And Florida hockey is such a cool community for that kind of stuff. So thoughts will be with that family tonight and going forward. It's just a sad thing. On the Florida side, I'm going Reinhart again. He's been awesome. And man, I mean, we said we don't know if he's going to score 50. I'm not so sure. I mean, he might score 50 again.
Right, yeah.
Reinhart and Verhaeghe on the Florida side.
Nice. I love it. Just going to try to find something here on Matthew. Looks like, is he going to be back tonight? I'm not really seeing anything just yet on Tkachuk. So it looks like he's out. Wow, this is a pretty lengthy illness here for him to be out the third straight game. 3 games in 4 nights, so I kind of get it, but yeah, facing a 1-week absence. So he's expected to be sidelined for at least a week. Potential return date October 22nd. Wow, what's going on with Matthew?
Yeah, COVID maybe.
Yeah, potentially.
Still
a thing that's happening. Super sad about Johnny Hockey. You're right. It breaks me up every time I think about it.
Yeah.
Should be an emotional night tonight for sure. I'm going to back the Blue Jackets, and because of that, because of losing Johnny and losing Laine, there is an opportunity for some of these kids, right? For some of these guys to play a lot. We're seeing Chinnikov and Sean Monahan and even Zach Werenski eat up a lot of ice. Werenski's minus 160 for 3 shots. It's a little bit past my threshold. It's in the camp of Svechnikov. You can do the 1-2 punch there, but how about Chinnikov? Like, let's roll with this guy. He had a good season last year. He's going to be given an opportunity here to play. He's got 4 points through 2 games. He's got 2 power play points. He's got 7 shots on goal, and we're getting plus money across the board for him. Plus 120 for 3 shots tonight for Igor Chinnikov. He's plus 105 for a point, and he's plus 310 to score a goal.
He's the shooter, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride him. It's gonna be the plus money play in the article, and that one's gonna be in there. And then there is Monahan. Like, this guy, his career got rejuvenated when he went to Montreal. He's plus 145 for 3 shots on goal. He's minus 110 for a point. He hasn't been shooting as much as Chinnikov, but he's right there. He's coming off a 3-point game, 19 minutes, 20 minutes of ice time. He's got 6 shots over his last 2 games. The first matchup was tough against the Wild. I'm telling you guys, the Avs have some issues. They went in there and took care of Colorado 6-4. But he's just getting a lot of ice time, and then so is Werenski. So from a DFS standpoint, pretty cheap, tournament stuff only. Werenski's 6'7", not cheap, but Chinnikov is 4'1", and Sean Monahan is 3'3". So pretty affordable pieces there for the Blue Jackets. Chinnikov point is plus money. Yeah, you guys seem to be on it as well. Is on Bennett, Lundell, Werenski, and Chinnikov shots. Yeah, I think Werenski's solid. I'm usually hesitant with Lundell, but he's a guy that's definitely benefiting, and Bennett's been great. I looked at Bennett in the last game, and he was like minus 170, so I stayed away. I didn't even bother to look at him today. Minus 177. Yeah, you can put some sort of parlay. The over 3.5 is plus 125. I might just stay away from that, but Chinnikov's the guy that I would roll with as well. I know that was a morning skate today with the Blue Jackets. Yes. Okay, here we go. Let's continue to chug along here. Washington and Vegas. All right, we are at the 24-minute mark. Take it away. What do you got for this game? Golden Knights and the Capitals.
Yeah, Vegas, I'm going Eichel and Hurdle. playing together on the power play and centering lines 1 and 2. They're just going to play a ton of minutes, I think. I've got a real love affair with Jack Eichel. I can't seem to quit him, and I think he scores tonight. Washington going Ovi to score, and our old buddy George's favorite, PLD.
Nice. I was wondering if you would go PLD. I'll have to give George a text after this for the PLD call there. I like him too. I think there's good value with him. He's minus 130 for 2 shots, right? He's going to go back to playing. The usage rate will go back to what we saw from him in Winnipeg, right? Those 2 years in Winnipeg, 28 goals and 60 points in 81 games, 27 goals and 63 points in 73 games. He averaged 1855 and 1827. Last year with the Kings, he had 16 goals and 40 points in 82 games. He averaged 15 minutes per game. He had 8 power play points. In those 2 seasons with Winnipeg, he had 15 and 11 power play goals. He was playing on the second power play unit in LA. He was playing on the 4th line. Like, some of that is on him, but he was never going to play ahead of Kopitar. He was never going to play against defensive specialist Philip Deneau. In Winnipeg or in Washington, this guy is going to be leaned on. He played 17-29 in his first game. He picked up a power play point. He had 2 shots on goal. So Vegas has been playing really good to start the season. Eichel's been fantastic. Stone and Barbashev has chipped in. Victor Olofsson had a couple goals in the opener. But I'm more on like some of these Washington props. So PLD minus 130 over at Bet365, 2 shots, and a point is plus 140 tonight. Are we going to see Logan Thompson in net? Are they going to go revenge style here? Do we have a confirmed goalie? Yeah, they are too. They're going to go Logan Thompson. Nice. He's going to get his first start with the Capitals, and it's going to be against his former team. So that should be fun for him. I'm going to just stay with PLD, George's favorite guy, and we'll move on from this game. You like the Golden Knights to win, to continue to rack up some W's here? They check in at minus 132 on the money line, and Washington's home dogs at plus 150.
I mean, looking at it originally, but I think it's a cool. With Logan Thompson, he knows the shooters, and they're at home. So this might be my upset of the night. I'm going Washington at home here.
Washington, I like it.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it. Vegas away from home. They played their first few games at home, and maybe that's the time to jump on them. Tom Wilson's a guy too. Like, sometimes I consider him in the betting market, like for shot props. He had 5 in his first game, but he's plus money. Plus 125 for 3 shots today. Tom Wilson, he played nearly 18 minutes. He scored a goal. Ovechkin was absolutely quiet and do a thing. I think he picked up an assist, but didn't even have a shot on goal. Ovi to start his season. So John Carlson's another one that is going to log a lot of ice time. He had 24-55 in the debut. He had a goal and an assist. He had a power play point, and he had 4 shots on goal. Carlson, when he's healthy, he's a guy that's always going to log a lot of minutes and a lot of ice time. You're getting minus 105 for Carlson for 3 shots. I kind of dig that one. I'm going to put that one on the card, minus 105. But PLD at minus 135 and plus money for a point. I'm in on that one. All right, let's head to St. Louis. We have the Wild and the Blues here. St. Louis has started off the season okay, and most of their games have been on the road for the St. Louis Blues. Let's get the numbers, and we'll let you take it away here. So money line stuff, we have St. Louis slightly favored at home at minus 109. Best numbers at Bet Rivers, and depending on where you look, you can see that the Wild are favorites over at Bet365 at minus 105. So kind of a pick'em game here with the total at 6. What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, this is like again, like teams where I probably won't stray too often from these 4 players to score. Kaprizov and Boldy. I think on Thursday's show I picked Ek, and Ek scored because I wasn't sure about Boldy and how healthy he'd be because he's banged up for most of the offseason. But he looked pretty decent. He scored, I think, yesterday. So, yeah, Kaprizov and Boldy from Minnesota. St. Louis, I'm going Kyrou and Thomas.
Yeah, how could he not go Kyrou? I mean, he's off to a really good start. He's not
Really
shooting a
good
whole
start.
lot. He's not surprisingly, one shot in his last 2 games, but he's got 6 points, which leads the Blues. He's had 2 points in every game. Scored 2 goals in the opener. Picked up 2 helpers in each of his last 2 games. So this will be the Blues home opener here today. And Jordan Kyrou is -140 for a point. It's not fantastic. It's also not awful. For -140. I'd probably stay away from the shots. It's -165 for 3 shots there today. So I really don't have a whole lot, to be honest with you, in this game. I don't see a ton of goals. Binnington's been okay, when he's been playing, he's been making some saves, but Kyrou for a point at -140 is not too shabby. And one thing I'll say to Justin Falk, I'll give some love to Justin Falk as like just a good fantasy hockey defenseman. I kind of see him, his ownership's 55% in Yahoo leagues. He's got a goal and 4 points. He's got a point in every game, 23, 26 minutes of ice time. He's got the 4 shots. He's got 3 hits. He's got 5 blocks. So he touches a lot of categories there. In those banger leagues, not going to throw his body around too much, but he blocks a lot of shots. He's got 2 power play points. He should be rostered when he's healthy. He's a solid defenseman. I'd say like top 25 upside for him at the defense position. What do we got? Marco Rossi. I kind of fell into the Marco Rossi trap in the opener. The last 2 games have been better. I saw against the Blue Jackets, he had the 1 shot, 14 minutes of ice time, but the last 2 games have been pretty solid for him, 16 and 18 minutes. So he's moved up in terms of ice time. He's got the 3 points and 7 shots. So don't hate the call there, Szymanski. I guess I just getting burned in what was a really good matchup for Marco Rossi against the Blue Jackets, but -166 for 2 points, for 2 shots, a little bit juice there. But something that maybe you can put into a parlay with some of these other juice players we've talked about, like maybe Svechnikov or forget the other one now, maybe Jake Gensel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Werenski. Anyways, +125 for a point there, but I don't see a lot of offense. Do like the Kyrou play. Just joining the show. What plays have you missed? You've missed a lot. You've missed half the show. Got 4 more games here. You can always go back and rewind. Or you can hang out and we'll recap our favorite plays at the end of the show. But we do like you guys hanging out. The most lopsided affair tonight on the ice is in Dallas. The Stars check in at -350 on the money line. Best number I'm seeing at BetMGM, and San Jose checking in at +110. So Cowboys. Stars on the puck line. Football's on the brain. I saw this last night. I was going to jump in. It was like 3 a.m. my time. Why am I up at 3 a.m? It's just, I shouldn't be, but I'm doing football rankings. I'm watching football. I'm doing hockey prep. I was going to jump on Dallas. I think I saw like -115 on the puck line. I'll take this number at -125. It's over at BetMGM. There's not a lot of other spots that are hanging this. The Dallas Stars are our squad here on this show. We love Dallas. We love Wyatt. And they've been perfect so far to start the season. In fact, they're 3-0, and they've only allowed 3 goals in those games. And Ottinger didn't even play in the last one. We saw Casey DeSmith shut out there. So as we said, I think on Thursday, actually called the Sharks for an upset. It was looking pretty good. They blew that game. The Blues came back, but they're going to be fun. Macklin Celebrini had a couple points. Now he's week to week. He's sidelined. So they're going to have a long year. They're going to be fun though, with like Tivoli and Zetterlund and Celebrini and Will Smith. And, but tough go for them in Dallas here tonight. And I'd be pretty surprised if they pulled off the victory against the Stars.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Dallas on this side. I'm going Hintz and Wyatt Johnson. San Jose, I'm going the 2 kids, Eklund and Zetterlund.
I like it. There's some things that we can do here in this game, just like we did for the Wild. Like, let's look at first goal. Like, who did you just say? Who are your goal scorers for Dallas?
Hintz and Wyatt Johnson.
Hintz and Wyatt Johnson. Okay.
I really wanted to put Robertson, but just have his gut feeling about Wyatt Johnson, so I kept him in there. Really like Robertson as a player. him and Hintz, they've got this like weird, like unearthly connection. So I love watching those two play together.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to do the same thing we did the other day. So I'm going to pick 3 goal scorers from this game. Wyatt Johnson is 12-1. He's also minus 134 for 3 shots. I know he hasn't been shooting lately, but this is a team that gives it up more than anyone. So that's a really good number at Bet Rivers for Wyatt. Let's go with, I'll side with you on Hintz. So that's 14-1. And then you could take Jason Robertson. Even taking those 3 guys like Robertson, Wyatt, and Hintz, you hit one of those, you're going to have a profit. But if you want to dig a little bit deeper here, Seguin's not as deep as I thought. Jamie Benn 15-1. Maybe it's a power play.
Marchman's looked pretty good too.
Marchman has looked really good. He's 17-1. Duchesne's 18-1. Doesn't shoot the puck enough for me. Those would be the guys. I'd go Wyatt, Hintz, and I'm going to go Seguin. Wyatt, Hintz, and Seguin. So some decent value, like Wyatt Johnson's plus 150 for an assist today. Like the Stars could score 4 or 5 goals in this game. Tyler Seguin, like that line in particular for a point, like Tyler Seguin's minus 120 for a point. Mason Marchment is minus 110 for a point. Jamie Benn probably isn't great. Minus 120, Jamie Benn for a point. There's a lot of value with these guys. I would say Benn, Seguin,
Marchment. Ben's playing on the top power play. I mean,
exactly. And
puck could bounce off him and you get a point.
Yeah, all of these guys. Wow. Benn is minus 110. Seguin is, I think, very similar. And then I would say Duchesne. Duchesne is minus 120 for a point. And then I would go with Marchment as kind of a longer shot there. I think he was minus 110 for a point. So a lot there to like. We're going to ride the Stars. But before we move on from this game, Mikael Granlund, we hit at minus 145 for 3 shots. He's plus 150 tonight for 3 shots. That's a guy that had a really good. You're familiar with him. Like he's a good player. I mean, he doesn't get enough respect.
Still a good player and going to center the top line and center the top power play. They're going to lean on him. He probably play over 20 minutes tonight.
Played 25 the other night.
There you go.
So just 1 point. But he's got 9 shots. So he's a guy that is going to continue to get leaned on here, especially with the kid. Celebrini is out. Logan Couture is not 100%. So I like this one quite a bit, probably more so than like Toffoli and Zetterlund. I think he's just a better skater than both. And he's going to play in all situations, power play, penalty kill, face-offs, and things like that. So plus 150. Most books are hanging 1.5, minus 188, minus 200, minus 208. Not for me. Bet Rivers, Granlund. I dig this one. Plus 150. Bet Rivers. All right, there we go. Got a lot of comments here. It sounds like people maybe have some plays. They do. Harley Point. Sure. I feel better about the forwards, but they could score 4, 5, 6 goals in this game tonight. It's certainly possible, and Harley could fall into a point. Ben, John Marchese in the house. What's going on, brother? Ben and Johnson, goal assist. Incoming Stars 1-0 win. Adam, that's how it would go. That's how it goes when you feel so confident about something. You're massive favorites at home. Maybe it's a 1-0 game. Maybe it is. And if it is, it better be a Wyatt Johnson goal from Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin or something on the power play, and we hit all the props there. It's a Foley assist. Good morning. I mean, I like the call on the Foley assist, but I bet you he's got decent odds just to pick up a point tonight. Minus 120 for a point, but plus 200 for the Apple. Not a bad long shot there. All right, 1-0 final, Dallas. But we'll hopefully it's the goal scorer that we have. All right, let's head to Nashville. Have you had a chance to watch anything from the Preds yet, being overseas?
I watched the home opener. I watched the first game. I had to stay up late, but I watched it. I can admit that I didn't make it through the whole thing. I fell asleep. Woke up with my iPad on, like just in a blank screen. Look, man, it's late over here, and
I know. Like, I would have started
working and traveling, and so it hasn't been ideal. But I can't wait to get home and be able to watch some games on a more regular basis. Nashville, I think, wins this game tonight. I got Forsberg and Novak Novak needs to get going, especially if he's going to play in between Stamkos and Marchessault. He's got to really get going here. I think he will. He's a really, really talented player. And on the Seattle side, I'm going McCann and Burakovsky.
Nice. Montour is plus money only in one spot. So, Zane, it's been a fun ride the first couple games, getting plus 145 and plus 135. But books are catching on and people are betting this. So seeing Montour at plus 100, I'm still going to like him until he gets to around minus 135, minus 140. And we're getting there. We're getting pretty close to it. He's minus 125 over at Caesars. DK, Bet365 and MGM is minus 120 there for Brendan Montour. Do like him, as mentioned earlier off the top of the show. One of my favorites in the undervalued section of the fantasy hockey draft kit, and he's leads the Kraken in ice time. So he's been all over it. I do like Nashville as well. I think that Seattle is hurting, man. I think that they're
hurting big time.
They are. And, it's time for like Matty Beniers to kind of step up. You know what I mean? Like he got the contract. He had a disappointing year last year. He's already on the third line. They've juggled some stuff around. They're Chandler Stevenson up on that top line. And I saw they had Matty Beniers on the third line and they put Shane Wright there on the second. So this is a team that I think that they have a lot of issues scoring goals and sustaining pressure in the offensive zone. I don't think Chandler Stevenson's a number one center. And when you're an expansion team,
I think he's a good player, but I think they overpaid for him. And
they overpaid for him and Montour. And that's kind of what you have to do, I guess, as an expansion team.
Montour, I get. You mean like players like him don't grow on trees? I mean, and Stevenson is still a very good player, but he's not a number one center. He's just not.
No, he's not.
They might not have one there, and that's problematic for Seattle and Seattle fans.
I don't think that they do. Yeah, I don't think that they have one there at the moment. We'll see. Beniers is still pretty young, but I have a hard time really backing anything on Seattle, any props at all. So
you just never know where it's going to come from. Even McCann used to be kind of a sure thing for a point. He was their goal scorer, but last year he was like hit and miss, and this year they have got a pretty bad start so far.
They have. So we like the Preds to bounce back. Any word on Saros? Is Saros fine or what? Oh, he's good.
I think he's playing. Yeah,
he played in the last game. He's good to go. Just didn't know if they'd give him a day off after missing a little bit of time, that maybe they wouldn't go back-to-back games with him. But they've had a couple days between. A lot of these Nashville props are just, it's going to be tough to get behind some of these props because. Like Forsberg leads the team, of course, with like 13 shots. He's minus 165 for 4 shots. You have Roman Josi, who's looking like a boss. He's minus 120 for 3 shots. Marchessault we hit in the opener at over 2.5 at a really good price. And he's minus 167. So I think the way to go is maybe like a Marchessault point at minus 140. Maybe like a Stamkos point. I did see Novak on the third line. I think they got away from him on that top line, but Marchessault at minus 140. I'll add him to the card. Montour 3 shots, and I like the Preds on the money line. Troy's in the house. Let's go. Chinnikov to get the point. Yeah, we're all over Chinnikov here. Troy, you're just jumping in. We have Chinnikov plus 120 for 3 shots. We have Chinnikov plus 105 for a point. And we have Chinnikov 310 for a goal. We also like Werenski's a little bit juiced, but we like him for 3 shots. And Monahan is plus money as well. We also like the Blue Jackets to win the hockey game. Doing the us a solid here. 42 people in here, but only 15 likes. Wake up, people. And as we said earlier off the top of the show, this show may not hang around. The podcast is gone. It's a live show only on our YouTube channel. If you want this show to keep around, honestly, we got to show the bosses that people care about hockey. So if you can smash that like button, you can tell a friend, you can share the show. By all means, that would do us a solid. And we love hanging out with you guys. We love Chinnikov. We love Chinnikov here on the show tonight, guys. We're all in. Appreciate you. Let's go. Okay. Let's continue. I think we only have 2 more games left. Calgary and Chicago. The Blackhawks. I think we said this maybe after, I think it was the Thursday show. Teuvo Teravainen and instant chemistry. You on Teravainen tonight?
Yep, Teravainen and Bedard both. I mean, I don't know where else to go there, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, Teuvo Teravainen. I would stay away from the shots. He's a pass first guy, but minus 120 tonight for a point for TiVo. And Bedard hasn't been shooting as much. The first game was good. You get minus 154 for 3 shots for Connor Bedard. That's it on the Chicago side. What do you like from the Calgary side? Because they're playing pretty good, man. They're scoring some goals. Looks like they have 3 lines that are rolling at the moment.
Yeah, it's I think probably caught the entire hockey world by surprise. But Calgary, I got Kadri and Connor Zary has been, a pretty interesting player for them. Last year kind of came out of nowhere and has been pretty good so far this year. So those are the 2 guys I got going for Calgary. I think Chicago wins this game. But yeah, Calgary's looked better than for sure better than I thought and better than almost anybody thought.
Absolutely. So in their first couple games, they had the comeback win against Vancouver. They beat Philly 6-3 and they beat Edmonton 4-1. So they're scoring goals. They have 16 goals through 3 games. I don't think that it is sustainable. I had the under on their point total. I don't have them as a playoff team, but at the moment, you have some sneaky plays here. Like, how about Anthony Mantha? Anthony Mantha's got 2 goals and 4 points. He's got 6 shots. He's got a point in every single game. This is a spot maybe to jump on some of these guys. We get too carried away with Calgary players, and it may just be another 1-0 final. But he's minus 140 for 2 shots. He's plus 140 for a point. Anthony Mantha. Huberdeau is off to a good start, leading the team in points. He checks in at not great odds for the point. I thought it'd be better. Plus 105 for the assist. And then Blake Coleman leads the team in shots. So they kind of have it spread out right now across the board. 3 lines are kind of cooking at the moment. Minus 160 for 3 shots there. So I think that Mantha for a point at plus money is interesting. Kadri over 3.5 shots. Kadri to score a goal. I love the Zary call by you. He made a hell of a goal the other night against the Canucks, the overtime winner. He's got 2 goals and he has 4 points. What's the odds? Let me get you the odds on Zary because I know you're overseas and you don't have all the books.
Yeah,
there.
I can't even pull it up.
So I bet you it's probably pretty decent odds for him to find the back of the net tonight for Zary. Let's see. Plus 220 over at DraftKings is not too bad. FanDuel's usually the best spot when you're looking for goal scorers, and for him to pick up a point tonight, Calgary is also pretty cheap and affordable over at DraftKings. I would probably just roll with Zary's not even actually showing up. No respect at minus 125. Found it over at DK minus 125 for a Zary point there. So a couple plays in this game. All right, let's wrap up. Oilers are in trouble, dude. They don't look good. They're off to a really, really slow start again. And the Flyers are one of those teams that they just work and they work and they work. So they're going to get Philadelphia's best effort tonight. Edmonton, again, massive home favorites, minus 225. The Flyers are checking out plus 205. And I don't know how you don't take a stab on that, to be honest with you. At some point, the Oilers are going to turn this thing around. It's not like Colorado where they're, I think, extremely in trouble until they start getting healthier. The Oilers will figure this thing out. But their first 3 games, I've watched them all, and they've been brutal.
Just disconnected, right? They're just
disconnected. Defense,
so weird.
Not moving the puck up. They're not getting the puck out of their zone. They're not getting goaltending, but also like McDavid has 2 assists through 3 games. 6-0 loss to Winnipeg, 5-2 loss to Chicago, and a 4-1 loss to Calgary, and they got dummied. There was a good 10 to 12 minute stretch where the Flames were just all over them in the offensive zone, and the Oilers just looked shook. So I don't know if it's just a little bit of, adding Skinner and adding Arvidsson and just getting comfortable with each other. I don't know. Skinner has been pretty solid. We've been talking about his shot prop at FTN over the past. He was plus 150 for the opener, and he had 9 attempts. Is this a get right spot for them? I'm gonna ride the Flyers, man, at plus 205. I think it's worthy of a bit of a sprinkle.
Yeah, I think it's worthy of a sprinkle too. But I think Edmonton gets it right here tonight at home. this streak is not going to last. I think they turn it over here. It's cool watching Philadelphia be good like this. Tortorella, even during the offseason, said his goaltending situation is terrifying.
He's honest.
But he's honest, and I think that's awesome for hockey. And like you said, they just play, and like, guys getting hit, and like people like Forrester and Farabee trying to fight guys on the other team. Like, man, it's like playing on that team. You'd be happy to play with those guys anywhere. And Tortorella's got them all playing together, which is a cool thing to see. He's a great coach. Say whatever you want about him. He's hard and this, that, and the other, but he's awesome. I got Konechny and Tippett on the Philadelphia side, and on Edmonton, I'm going McDavid and Hyman.
Yeah, it's like it feels like McDavid's going to break out at some point, right? I mean, the 2 assists, -110 for 2 points.
He's scoring tonight.
Normally don't see that. He's usually, -175 for 2 points. So, yeah, it may be contradicting to sprinkle on the Flyers and then also sprinkle on McDavid, but maybe this is a high-scoring game, just given the Oilers' goaltending, and maybe we see that desperation from the Oilers. They can't start the way that they started last year.
No.
I know they feel like maybe they're invincible and like, we did this last year, we can come back, but it's just it's not gonna. It's tough to do. It's tough to do to come back like that. Anyways, McDavid, you're actually getting +130 for a goal at FanDuel. I'll have to jump on the -110 2.9 for McDavid. But I do think the Flyers are alive. I like this Marchese over 3.5 goals. I don't know what the number is on that, but I'd say the Oilers do. I think lean to the over here, and I think we'll see some offense in this game. Mitchkov had 5 shots in the first game, and then he was quiet in the second game. There's going to be some highs and some lows with him. Owen Tippett's been pretty quiet to start, but he's a guy that I usually look at as well. If we're going to see some goals, I'd say like Tippett maybe finds the back of the net here tonight. Yeah. He's -110 for a point. And then Jeff Skinner is -105 for 3 shots, and he's been shooting. He leads the Oilers in shots with 12. After that, it's at Coleman Nurse. Like, this just can't happen. Where's Draisaitl? He's got 5 shots. Bouchard or Ryan Nugent can shoot the puck. How about Hyman? Hyman's got 4 shots through 3 games. It's just very odd to see. Messier called it a Stanley Cup hangover. They didn't win the cup, Messier.
Yeah, sorry, bud.
They didn't win the cup. They should be ready to go. Okay, so let's recap here. I'll start with some sides. I do like Tampa Bay on home ice tonight. I like the Stars on the puck line at -125 over at BetMGM to win by a couple goals here. I like the Nashville Predators at -154 on the money line. And my upsets of the night would be Columbus. I'm going to ride with the Blue Jackets tonight. Troy, your Blue Jackets on home ice. It'll be tough matchup against the Panthers, but they played last night, emotional night in the building. They've been playing pretty good, been hanging around in first of their first 2 games. And the Oilers, the Flyers. I'm going to sprinkle on the Philadelphia Flyers at +205 is like the big upset of the night. But I think the Preds are probably my favorite money line play. Then I'd go to Dallas on the puck line, and then I'd go to Tampa Bay on home ice. Okay, so some goal scorers. So when you take it away, EY.
All right, here we go. Hughes, Hischier, Jarvis, Netchess, Besser, DeBrusk, Gensel, Kucherov, Eichel, Hurdle, Ovi, PLD, Reinhart, Verhaeghe, Chinnikov, Kent Johnson, Kaprizov, Boldy, Kyrou, Thomas, Eklund, Zetterlund, Hintz, Wyatt Johnson, McCann, Burakovsky, Forsberg, Novak, Bedard, Teravainen, Kadri, Zari, Konechny, Tippett, McDavid, Hyman. The 8-way Maniac parlay goes as follows. Eichel, Ovi, Besser, Reinhart, Hintz, Forsberg, Kaprizov, McDavid. My lock of the night to score tonight, Connor McDavid. Let's go.
Connor McDavid, let's go. Like it. I got just 5 goal scorers for you guys here. Eric is the goal scorer caller on this show, but I do have 5 for you guys. It's Wyatt Johnson, Connor McDavid, Philip Forsberg, Jake Gensel, and I'm going to go with Connor Bedard. for a goal. I also like Kadri in that game too. I think Calgary and Chicago may see some offense there. In terms of props, all right, let's kind of start with like the favorites. Wyatt Johnson, 3 shots, -134, 3 shots against the Sharks. Let's go to Columbus, man. Chinnikov at +120 for 3 shots. Also like him for a point. Werenski inside that game is solid. He's a little bit juiced, but I like him inside that game. Maybe you can put him with Jake Gensel if you can see some 2.5s out there, or Svechnikov at 2.5. I am gonna I'll save the long shots. I have a couple long shots there. Montour, 3 shots tonight. We have McDavid for the 2-point night. We have a point for Teuvo Teravainen. I like a lot of these single bets for points as well. Jamie Benn -110, Sagan -110, Duchesne -120 for those 3 guys. I got Kyrer for a point at -140. I'm going to take some stabs on a first goal tonight. Wyatt Johnson at 10-1, Hintz at 14-1, Tyler Seguin at 14-1. That worked out for us when we used the wild guys. We took 3 players, and you just hit one of those, it'd still be a profit there for you. Jake Gensel +180 for 2 points. Braden Point +165 for 2 points is like longer shots. And then I got Pierre-Luc Dubois for 2 shots, George's guy at -135. John Carlson for 3 shots as well, and that one is -105. So the 2 shots on PLD and the 3 shots on Carlson. Oh yeah, and Granlund, Mikael Granlund at +150 for 3 shots for the San Jose Sharks. And I think that's it. We'll have the article. It'll be live, I think, in about 15-20 minutes. It may be live right now over at ftnfantasy.com. Yes, the article should be up. Yeah, love to listen, but I'd also love to summarize in writing. I got you. Wanted to have that out a little bit early. Jake had some internet issues on his show, and it took way longer than needed it to be. So this won't be the last show here today, will it? No, we're going to be back. I'll be honest with you guys. We were kind of given like a November, December type date to see how this show would roll. I'm happy with the start. The picks have been good, so that does help. Bear with us if we don't get things right, but Tuesdays and Thursdays, the articles is 15 for 16. So it's been a heck of a start. Proceed with caution. You guys know, if you're just new to betting, we're not going to be able to do that consistently. There's going to be some highs and some lows, but be patient with us. We take this stuff pretty seriously. We love this sport. We love that you guys have hung out with us and you're passionate as well. So smash that like button, share it. You have any comments, any questions, season-long stuff, by all means, leave it there. And also, you can jump in our Discord, and the Fantasy Hockey Discord is free. There's a lot of people I know, like Shemansky's our guy here, helping out the people. He's subbed with us over at FTN Fantasy. You get all picks across all sports, projections, tools. We don't have projections and tools in the NHL, but we have them for the other sports. We have all the Discord channels, and you get all the picks from everybody across all sports. Use promo code FTN Show or Puck. Save yourself a little bit of a discount, but I think FTN Show will save yourself a little bit more. So appreciate you guys. Granlund, alternate shots, DK's +170. I don't know why DK will give you a number, but then when you go look at the alternate shot, you can get a better number for whatever reason. So if you're a DraftKings user, keep that in mind. Maybe look at the alternate shots, because there's no rhyme or reason behind it. I don't know, but the number's a little bit better there. So appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll recap on Thursday. We'll talk some more picks and some props, and yeah, we'll hopefully be with you guys for the entire season. Appreciate it. At the Eric Young, myself, Chris Meaney. Again, that article will be live, and it'll be live every Tuesday and Thursday. And if you're a fantasy hockey player, check out the rankings and the waiver wire article every Sunday. Updates there for you at ftnfantasy.com. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Let the winners be yours. Enjoy the puck. Talk to you guys on Thursday. Cheers.